Welcome to the Tom Matt Show. You are walking through the front door of the refirement zone. And now, your host, Tom Matt.
Welcome, everyone. Welcome to this week's episode of the Tom Matt Show. Thank you to everyone who gives up their time to listen, watch, stream, however you're receiving us. I appreciate you all so much. Love you all so much. Without you can't help our sponsors. Without the sponsors, we can't do this radio program. So thank you for all of that and helping our sponsors. Brock Fletcher over at the selling team of Keller Williams Realty, local guy, great guy. I'll give you all the info here shortly. Last week, Quinn Magnuson was here. Now, I was just a guest on Quinn's show. Quinn played professional football, played Division I football. He is in the retirement zone, just starting his retirement zone. He's in his early mid-50s, and he's starting to shift. And he's got this cool thing called effort over results, EOR. You need to check this guy out, Quinn Magnuson. It's a super duper. My episode with him on his show is on LinkedIn and all the social media. And then his will be popping soon. You know how our stuff goes. But check that one out because that was last week with Quinn Magnuson, effort over results, my new Canadian best friend. Okay, today, a real best friend. I mean, like we go back 18, almost 20 years. And in our pre-show, I just told my guests, it's like, I'll probably cry during this one because I get so emotional with this guy because this person has helped me so much. There are people in your life occasionally, if you're very fortunate and you hang with the right people. I hung with the wrong people for a long time. So scratch them. You want to find good people. This guy is the man. Vennie Gore is my friend. He's been a mentor. He's been a gym friend. I've trained with him. We have done so many things together, spin classes, lifted weights, talked family, all of it. Calling this one the Spartan experience. Let me do this bio here because Vennie Gore serves a huge, huge purpose at the university, and he's very, very humble guy. So he won't say any of this, but I will because I want to brag on my bra. All right. Vennie Gore serves as Executive Vice President for Administration. Bear with me here, everybody. It's a little lengthy. Okay. Vice President of Administration at Michigan State University, which is a big, big, big job. He had a big, big, big job before that, and he's been on the show before, but we're going to talk about this new role that he took over in March of 2025. So relatively new. Took a little while for me to get him because he had to learn a new job, and he's still getting there. He oversees the universities. Check this out, everybody. Central Human Resources, IPF, which used to be called FizPlant, as I would know it, IT, which I love those people over there too, and all of their changes. Linda Wayham, God bless you, you're the best. Office of Sustainability, Residential Hospitality Services, which was his old division, kind of, sort of, and Inclusive Campus Initiative. He shares oversight of the Department of Police and Public Safety and University Licensing. Does he need more jobs? With more than 2 decades of leadership experience in higher education, we're so grateful, Spartans, to have Vennie Gore in the role he's at now. We are so very fortunate. Vennie Gore has played a pivotal role in shaping MSU's strategic vision and fostering a campus environment that prioritizes student success and institutional excellence. And we're going to talk about that because I interview students all the time. I try to get students to think about coming to work at the university. I've got some kids' jobs at the university. We need to do more of this for student success. Institutional excellence is huge. Recognized nationally. Vennie is recognized nationally for his contributions. He's received numerous accolades, of course. I mean, including American College Personnel Association Diamond Award. Congratulations. Association of College and University Housing Officers. International James C. Jim Leadership and Service Award. His deep institutional knowledge and commitment to MSU missions continues to drive excellence. We're going to talk about operational excellence. But before we go there, that long intro, I want to bring in one of my best friends, Vennie the Man Gore, the Spartan experience. Welcome, my friend.
Thank you. Thank you. I want to make sure my dad sends you a check for saying such nice things.
Well, you know what? You're just reading my mind. See, that's how close we are. We've known each other almost 20 years. The first question I was going to ask you is how's Sergeant Major?
Well, Sergeant Major is doing well. He's 93 years old.
Jeez, good man.
He's still as honorary as he can be. As you can imagine. I talked to him last night, and he, when he says, the voice goes low, and he goes,
"Uh-oh,
son." Then I listen. Now, do I need to remind you where we sit here? I go, no, you're the dad, I'm the son. Yes.
Okay. For those of you who are just picking this up on radio, like on WKR or something, please go to YouTube and watch the video as well, because some of the interplay that we're going to have in this episode is going to be hilarious. And it's like, I'm watching his face and his mannerisms with Sergeant Major, because I've heard these stories. I know these stories. I mean, I've heard these stories for a long time, and I'm so glad he's doing well. And I know you got a chance to go down and see him. Is he still in South Carolina?
Still in South Carolina, still in Columbia.
Still in Columbia, South Carolina. Well, Sergeant Major, your son's my man, and you done good, Sergeant Major. But he knows that. All right, the rest of them. You want to go with Gabrielle first, or you want to do Sherry?
Gabby's doing great. She is, living in LA and working in the entertainment industry and trying to make her mark, finding her way through things. So she's doing really, really well. I'm happy for her. She's still in the dad scholarship, but what can you say?
Hey, that's all right. How did she like Chapman College?
She loved it. She absolutely loved it. She liked it because it was small and it was experiential. So they did a lot of work during her graduate with internships in the industry. So it sort of took the learning and she's a screenwriter. So it worked out really well for her. So
screenwriter, creative. I love it. What about Sherry?
Sherry's doing great. She's my gentlewoman farmer. So right now we've got cucumbers coming up and tomatoes and peppers and onions and potatoes and all that stuff.
Invite us over for dinner.
So we're eating well, and isn't that what we talk about is part of being healthy is eating well?
The whole thing. I mean, we could talk about the residence halls. We could do a whole show on the residence halls and eat. I was just at Brody yesterday with a meeting, and I host lunches at Brody all the time. I have for years and years and years and years. And it's just fun to get with the students. So happy for your family. Is Sherry still at the university?
No, she's retired, my friend.
Good for her.
She retired 3 years ago. Yeah.
Nice. We got to do
just
something.
Like Miss Sandy, man.
Oh, you know what? But we're just shifting gears, and we're in that retirement zone, and it's just like, hey, baby, let's just take what we've learned at the university. And this is for everybody out there. What the university or any school can give you to help you elevate your life is so vitally important. And I'm such a non-traditional education honk because of guys like Vennie Gore. I mean, he was with me the whole time when I was going through my undergrad, mostly through my master's. And then the story, which we've talked about before, where I finished my master's degree and I thought it was all that. And what did you tell me?
I said you weren't ready.
That's a true story. I told V prior to the recording when we started, I said, I'm not going to talk about the locker room. Okay. And here I go talking about the locker room. So we lockered adjacent to each other for years, still do actually. And we got to know each other at the gym for doing all kinds of different things. So it's just like, I came to V after I finished my degree, my master's, and I said, hey, I'm ready to change the world. I'm ready to go do all these things. And as a good mentor will tell you, he'll tell you the truth. And that's what Vennie Gore did for me. And I was kind of crushed. I mean, you knew I was crushed, didn't you?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I can see it in your face.
But that's where you come in and you're like straight with people. And when you got this role, I got a phone call from Michelle Pell. And right after you got appointed this position. And I was so thrilled for you. She knew I would be thrilled for you. I was so thrilled. And I immediately got a hold of people and I said, listen, we got a great VP coming in. This guy he is so on top of things, but you better have your ducks in a row because he doesn't play games. He's a great guy, but you better be straight and you better have your numbers, you better have your metrics, and you better have your operational excellence ready to go. We're going to talk about that. We're going to go to break here in just a second. Let me reset everything because operational excellence at the university is going to be one of our key topics today. Vennie Gore is here. I'm so thrilled to have him. So hard to get him on the radio show, but he's been here before and he's my brother and he comes on when he has time and I'm so grateful. The Spartan Experience. The Spartan Experience. The Spartan Experience. The Spartan Experience will change your life. It changed my life. It changed VG's life. It's changed thousands, maybe millions of people's lives. And of course we're biased, but that's okay because we are Spartans. And this is the Tom Matt Show.
Welcome to the Tom Matt Show.
Welcome back, everybody. Thank you, Sandy, for bringing us back. I want to thank our production staff, Mitch Anderson. He produces the show. He does all the audio. And then there's Vanessa, and she is our assistant who does a lot of my helping with our video stuff. And so thank you to both of our production people. And, of course, my beautiful wife, Sandy, who does everything. I mean, she does everything. This segment is sponsored by Brock Fletcher, selling team of Keller Williams Realty. The biggest thing I want you guys to remember with Brock is trust. This is the key word. Now, you've heard me tell the story about Big House Holt, Little House Lansing, and how Mikey Deadman, hey, Mikey, how are you? He got us into Little House Lansing, where we're recording this episode now. Please give them a call or listen to some of the episodes. Been on the show 25 times. Going to be on the show a lot more. Brock Fletcher is the man. The office number is 517-853-6408, or his cell phone number. And use this if you really want to get a hold of Brock. Use this number, 517-303-3262. Go online, kwsellingteam.com. Sell your home without hassles. Buy your home without hassles. Do it all without hassles. Find people you trust, because they're the bomb. And you can go to our homepage, tommattshow.com, the bottom of that homepage at our website. Click on through, because we have our friends and we have sponsors there, and we want to make it one-stop shopping for you. And go check out those reality real estate episodes. Those things are free. Everything's free on our website. Everything. Maybe I should sell things. I don't know. I mean, we're doing fine with what we're doing here. Go there, listen to those, get some good advice, get some good tips, and then make some good decisions, because informed decisions are what help you make better choices. And as I've said, one of my new favorite sayings, choices have consequences. And if you're uninformed, how in the heck can you make a good choice? Okay, let's talk to a man who knows how to make good choices. Vennie Gore is our guest today. He's a vice president. He's a VP. He's the number 2 man at Michigan State University, executive vice president of administration, which means he runs a lot of things. Lots. We already talked about that. Let's call this one the Spartan experience. V, we could talk about gym stuff. We could talk about eating, like we've already started. We could talk about all kinds. We talk about life like we always do, the bro talk. But I really wanted to focus today on how you're liking your new job, and then some of the initiatives that you're implementing, because there are some really, really good people at the university who need leadership like yours, so that we can have consistent management of what we're trying to accomplish. Because that's, from my perspective, 25 years at the university, there are holes. There are always holes in every organization. We can always, as an individual, we can get better. Please, let's talk about first your job. How do you like the new job? And then we'll get into the operational excellence, because that's a huge topic.
So as you know, Tom, I spent most of my time here at Michigan State on the student side, and so my new job is sort of like going to undergrad and then going to graduate school at the same place. And as an undergrad, you know what balls are glass, and you know what balls are rubber. And so when you drop one that's rubber, it bounces. But when you drop one that's glass, it breaks. And so I'm learning between what breaks and what bounces. And
how's that going?
It's going well, actually. It's going well. I have a lot of good learning partners. I think one of the things I learned over the years is that I don't know everything, so I need to ask and get context and talk to people and try to, to make sure that I'm making good decisions. And so I think that's part of what I do. I think part of what I also do, because of my longevity here, is I kind of know how the place works. And so it's making those connections.
That tends to help, doesn't it?
Things. Pardon?
That tends to help when you have the connections around an institution like that.
Yeah. And you can go and say, so can you help me understand how this is done? And you can kind of figure it out. That's, because we're ultimately in the people business, right? I mean, our job here is to teach young people and older folks about helping them in their.
Right. Exactly. I mean, you are in the people business, and we roll on with all of this stuff. There's so many questions I have for you. I want to continue with this whole conversation. Talking about operational excellence, What exactly is that, V? As you're kind of getting into the job, you're dropping a couple of glass balls, you got a couple of rubber balls going there, you're learning, you got all the new people over there. It had to be a big learning curve just getting to know the people. But you are very well known at the university on a high level. What exactly, in your definition, take the rest of the time, we got a couple minutes to go here, 3-4 minutes. What is operational excellence in your definition?
So I'm going to begin that it starts off with 3 strategic questions.
Okay.
The first question is, are you doing the right things?
Okay.
The second thing is, can you or do you have the capacity to do the right things? And then the third thing is, can you do the right things right the first time and every time? And so what we're taking a look at is, what are the things that we do? Are they the right things in today's context? Because, technology has changed the world a lot. I mean, think about now, we're doing this over Zoom, and 15 years ago, we wouldn't have been doing it this way. I'd have been at your studio and we'd have been talking. So what does technology mean? And are we doing the right thing for our students and our faculty and staff? The second part of this, do we have the capacity? And that is, do we have the systems in place, the people in place, the technology in place to do it? And then the third thing is, doing it right every time. So, you spent your time with, telecom. And I remember you and I used to run the stadium because we were both in stadium operations on a football game. Mm-hmm. And, when coach is talking over the phone with the coach upstairs and there, he wants to make sure it happens. Mm-hmm. And you got to make sure that happens all 60 minutes, every game.
Oh, yeah.
Every game.
I know it well.
Yeah.
Let me add getting screamed at the Rose Bowl by a guy that's 6'5" and just getting in my grill about headset. It's like, oh, yeah.
Yeah. So that. And so in your mind, you're always thinking about, how can I do this better? How can I make it easier for the coaches? Mm-hmm. I mean, that's what, in the brass tacks, that's what operational excellence is to be able to do that right every time and execute it very, very well every time. And it's about getting better. I mean, what we do is we're trying to get better every day. And that's what operational excellence is all about. And it starts at the people who do the work. Because you worked telecom, you knew how it worked in the stadium. You had all the right ideas. You knew where the stress points are. And so it's giving you the tools and the autonomy to be able to say, I got to make this, I can fix this, I can make this right for the coaches. And that's really what we're trying to do, is that it's not top down, it's bottom up, and we all come together and we all have this commitment. And when we talk about the Spartan experience, what we want it to be is that when you come to the institution, you have a great experience.
Our guest today is Vennie Gore. I'm going to reset this thing. We're going to go to break here. We're going to continue the conversation about operational excellence, because there are problems. You can learn from what Vennie's describing here for the institution. This is the reason why you need to be aware of what's happening at Michigan State and the institution of all of our higher education, because it's a huge investment. It's super important. It's hard as heck to give your kids over to your 18-year-old children to another place and let them kind of raise them. That's why we're talking about the Spartan experience, because it needs to work. You're listening to the Tom Matt Show.
Thank you again to Brock Fletcher, real estate agent at the selling team with Keller Williams Realty. For more information on services provided by Brock, please call his personal cell phone at 517-303-3262 or by emailing Brock at kwsellingteam.com. This is the Tom Matt Show.
Welcome to the Tom Matt Show.
Welcome back, everybody. Thank you, Sandy, for bringing us back. Our staff, I love to brag on our staff. Today, our guest is my very, 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 very good friend. One of my best friends in the world, and helped me so much in my life, is Vennie Gore. And I've known this man almost 20 years, 18 actually. Calling this one the Spartan experience. He is the vice president of operations at the university, which means he's the number 2 guy. He is running all kinds of good things. Talking about operational excellence, and we left the thread last segment, about getting better every day. I mean, I have said this before. Do you go into your your closet or your phone booth at home, put on your Superman Vennie Gore outfit, and then go to work and be the executive vice president? Or do you just go downstairs, do your work, and you're just the same guy? Because this is the whole thing about people thinking they got to put on this game face or imposter syndrome or that kind of nonsense. What do you do?
I'm just a guy trying to learn, man. Trying to get better every day. I'm a human being, Tom. And every day I come to work, and most of the days I get it right. Some days I don't, and I try to learn from my mistakes. I read a lot. I ask good questions. I try to figure out from different folks, as you know. And I think the important part of being a team member is how you work on yourself. And you got to be open to yourself. You got to be open when you don't do something right, and admit, hey, I didn't get that right. Or if things aren't going right, you ask people for help. I'm not afraid to ask people for help. In one of my golden rules, there are ask these three questions. I made a mistake. It's okay. I need help. Can you help me do this better?
Exactly. It's like Jack Welch. You know the story of Jack Welch when he was a young man as a scientist, and he blew up his first lab. And he was all worried he was going to get fired. And his boss came to him and didn't fire him, but actually kind of gave him a pat on the back and said, just don't do it again. But this is the learning thing. Sometimes you got to break a ball, like you're saying with your glass balls. Sometimes you got to drop a ball to figure out, oh, I guess I goofed up there. But then it's being accountable. Do you
right.
find that people are, for the most part at the university, they take the input from others well for teaching and learning and getting better? Do we have resistance to systems? Because I got a purpose with this, and the cultures, the silos that we have established at the university sometimes can be a detriment.
Well, we're a big place.
Yep.
I think you have to understand that we're a city. In the academic year, Monday through Thursday, there's 72,000 people on campus. So we're a city.
Right.
And it's easy to come to work. You drive in down Mount Hope, you take a left on Harrison, you come in, and then you take another right on Wilson, and you drive to your office, and that's where you are. And that's your contribution, and it's okay. I think that what we do need to do is sort of see in the context how we all play in that experience for our students and our staff, because each one of us play a role.
Well said. And all of the people that the different personalities that we come across, that's what makes the Spartan experience so unique. And facilitating that program for as many years as I did over there at HR, you learn a lot about touch points. You learn a lot about parents. You learn about all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
You've got some really cool things going on in campus. I would be very remiss if I didn't talk about the rec center or whatever we're calling the new rec center. I got other points I want to talk about, but I want to give you plenty of time. Because I hope we can I be the fundraiser to put a plaque in that building with your face on it? Because you're the guy who's making our experience for the students and our faculty staff and our retirees and all those other people so much better with that building is changing Mid-Michigan. Talk about that building and how much work you had to put into getting that thing pulled together.
Yeah, we started that in the fall of 2020. So think about that. We're in 5 years in this fall when we started with the study and then trying to figure out how we're going to finance it and then finally get in building. I took a tour of the building. It is phenomenal. I'm just going to say. I mean, it's mind-blowing in terms of what it's going to be and what it's going to do. I think for the community, it not only focuses on fitness, but it focuses on community, which is really different than you see in a lot of gyms. Most people think about gyms going in and you go and you do your workout and you leave. Well, there are community places to get together. So like one of the community places is a ping pong table.
Sweet.
And so you can just go play ping pong, or you can hang out there after your workout and get to know folks and talk. And that we wanted that sort of opportunity. It has a lot of glass. So you and I spent much of our time at IM West. And, there's not a lot of light that comes in the building. There's just tons of light that comes in this new building. and the quarter mile indoor track for running and walking is just going to add another element to it.
So there's a quarter mile track, not like one of those 10th mile tracks. It's a full quarter?
It's a quarter mile track.
Wow. Yeah. Sweet.
Yeah. And it goes around so you can kind of see different parts of the space.
I've been leaning on Dewan, and Dewan Wiley is my good friend and a friend of both of ours. And he's one of the managers over at IM West. And I said, hey, get me on the tour list. If I'm in town, I'd love to go over there. And he says, we're putting people together that don't work here, that we just want to get some input. And I said, that's a really good idea. And I would love to be part of that. If you want me to be part of that, just make sure that you're going to rent lockers, because I want to rent my locker.
Well, here's the other part. We will not let you on the climbing wall. We're too old, my friend.
Oh, come on, man. I'm going to get new wheels. I'm going to be the bionic Tom here soon.
Well, I know, but I don't want you to get hurt because Sandy will get mad at me. So
she probably would. That's true. And you know what? That's the thing. Okay, that's a good point. For us growing older adults, don't use your brain like you're 25 years old, because you're not. You're not, and I'm not. So it's like, no problem, bro. No, I'm going to be good.
You and I can go and look, but you and I should not get on the wall.
I could train people and get them ready to climb the wall and watch them and be a cheerleader for you. And I'll be happy to do that for you, V. If you want to climb that thing, or you have ropes or something you want to, I'll be there cheering you on as your trainer and saying, go get them, baby, go get them. But you and I talk, it's like we're both on like 25-pound limits.
Yeah. Well, I was out hiking in Zion National Park, and I went on a really difficult hike. And halfway up, I went, I'm too old for this.
How'd you feel after that?
Yes. Yeah.
Welcome to reality.
My brain said it was okay. My knee said, no, Gore, you're too old for it.
Yeah. Well, the knee thing, as active as we have been, it's kind of part of the whole deal. So I'm happy to hear about the rec center. I'm very excited because my knees will be all fixed by the time it opens next year. And I'm going to be over there a lot, as much as I can, because
we're going to be looking forward to you, man. We're going to be looking for you being there.
I'm there. I am absolutely down. And when I help people with things, I know I'm going to get Pell over there, and she's going to be part of my little crew I'm going to be working with. And these people,
she'll wear you out, man. So,
she knows, and she's, you know what? If you want me as a trainer, everybody, just come ready to work. If you want that, come ready to work. Otherwise, there's plenty of people out there that can just kind of pass you through and do that kind of thing. We digress. Sorry, everybody, but I had to talk about certain things at the university. Let me reset this. We're coming up on break. Vennie Gore, one of my best friends of the world. We haven't even talked about books yet. We'll talk about books. We'll talk about the Innovation Lab. We're going to talk about Fall Welcome. We're going to talk about IT services. We're going to talk about all of these things, hopefully, if we don't run out of time, which I wish I had him for like 3 hours, but I only have him for an hour, but that's fine. So again, resetting. Vennie Gore is vice president. He is the executive vice president of administration at Michigan State University, which means he's the number 2 guy. He's got his finger on the pulse of a lot of different things. He's still learning the job because he just started in March of this past year in 2025. But he's been around the university for almost 20 years, and he is a Spartan through and through and through, and I love this guy so much. And Gabby, your dad's proud of you. You're listening to the Tom Matt Show.
This segment of the Tom Matt Show is brought to you in part by The Source of Light and Power by band leader Ark of All and broadcaster Mitch Anderson. Hear the sound that is endorsed by Odyssey headphones, linear tube audio, RME converters, and Peluso microphones at sourceoflightandpower.bandcamp.com.
Welcome to the Tom Matt Show.
Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to the Tom Matt Show. We couldn't do this radio program well without guests like a Vennie Gore, my guest today, my very, very, very good friend, the executive vice president of Michigan State University, taking time, calling this one the Spartan Experience. We couldn't do the radio show without Brock Fletcher and our sponsors. All right. I want to do a couple of testimonials from customers from Brock Fletcher. So check this out. This is from Ben and Katie from Okemos. Our experience with the selling team was excellent. That's in bold type. They did what they said they would do, which was extremely helpful. Well, you know what? When people show up to do their work, good for them, and get to do a good job. Great. Let's do this operational excellence like we're talking about with Vennie. They listened to what we needed in a home and found us several houses that met our criteria. Thank you so much. We love our new home. Ben and Katie from Okemos. Thank you for writing that review, Ben and Katie, because Brock Fletcher and the whole team over there, the selling team, they're the best. Mike Deadman's a king. Phone numbers for you, 853-517-853-6408. That's the office number, everybody. But use Brock's cell phone and tell him it's from Tommy, because Tommy, that's how the radio people refer to me all the time, is Tommy. He'll know. 517-303-3262. Let me give it to you one more time. 517-303-3262. Go online to kwsellingteam.com or go to our homepage, tommattshow.com. Right at the bottom, and you can click on through to our friends and our sponsors, because most agents, they start paying for marketing, buying marketing right when they list your home. Not Brock. He invests way ahead of time because he wants to get you the best bang for your buck. You've heard my story about Mikey, my former next door neighbor, who Brock got him an extra 20 grand. That's a true story. I'm going to leave it there because I've said the story about 100 times. It's like, it's truth. You want these people because we trusted them. They took care of us. They will take care of you. Our guest today, my very, very, very good friend, Vennie Gore. Vennie Gore and I met 18 years ago at the gym, of all places. All my friends are from the gym, the Spartan experience. When you meet people at the gym, V, what's your impression with some of the, especially the early morning people like we've always been, it's like, what do you think about that? And the kids, our students, they're students, these young people, because those are the dynamic dynamos.
Anyone who can regularly get up and show up at the gym at 6 o'clock is telling you how much dedication they have.
There you go.
I mean, they're committed.
They're committed.
They're not sleeping in. It's, and we're talking about when it's hot outside and it's cold and dark and snowy.
God,
they're showing up every day. I mean, they just show up. And so you want to hire those kind of folks because, they've got some commitment. They've got some discipline, and they care about what they're doing. So, there's a lot to be said for someone who gets up that early in the morning and does their thing.
That's the thing. And you know what? When you hit the refinement zone, you don't have to get up that early, but still stay in your morning routine, because I still put in, I don't know, depending on the days, a lot of time, but it's very slow. So just stay in your regular routine. If your routine was after work, you might want to do some morning time, because morning time will get you started. Then you can do a second one if you want, or you can do some walking, or you can do that. Just some advice, part of the Spartan experience that we're doing here. But it's an early morning, especially the students. And if you're a parent out there or a student out there that's listening to this episode, come see me at the gym early in the morning. Maybe I'll put you in.
Well, Tom, my grandfather used to say, early to rise, early to bed. Keeps one young, healthy, wealthy, and wise.
It's absolute fact. Absolute fact. And then we do our little lunches and we get to know people, and then we introduce you to people. And this is how it works for us growing older adults. We want to help you. We want to be advocates for you, but we got to see you show up and do the work. That's how I roll. I wait. As a trainer, I don't go and approach people the first time I see them, not even close. A lot of times it could be 2 years. As a matter of fact, I had a young woman who's doing working for IT services now as a student this summer, and I hadn't talked to this. Andrea Brown is her name. Very, very nice, very great young woman. She's from Detroit. And I asked her what her major was, computer science. I'd seen her for 2 years, V, and she was a little bit heavier, but over 2 years, she came in every morning by herself, did her work, never said a word. And slowly but surely, she started to really tighten things up. And I finally this year, 2 years later, everybody, 2 years later, introduced myself to this young woman because I just had to compliment her. I said, listen, no offense, I'm not, being too forward here, but I've watched your effort. I've seen you here consistently. In talking to her, had her come to a lunch, introduced her to some of the people, introduced her to Linda Way Helm and Mike Lang over at IT Services. Now she's a student working on that team full time, and because she's a computer science kid, but unless you talk to them, you don't know what they're doing, and they want to talk to us. V, do you find that students, young people in general, they're longing for input from older adults?
Yeah, I think they want mentorship. They want people to help and advise. And, there's a time in which I think young people want that to happen. and you just have to be able to walk through the door. So you kind of get the sense. So you walk through the door, man. You went and introduced yourself, and it started that relationship. And then it exposed her to other people at lunch. And so I think people want that. They want to feel connected.
People do want that. And before I forget, I want to make sure that I get to do a shout out to Kathy. Kathy is V's assistant, been his assistant for 15 years. Kathy helps put these shows together with Sandy. She is unbelievably efficient. She is so awesome. She's easy to deal with. And if you want to get a hold of V, you got to go through Kathy because she's the gatekeeper. But she's a really nice gatekeeper for the most part. Just have your stuff together. like I try to have
your stuff together, man.
Like I try to do sometimes.
I work for her, my friend.
I know you do.
I work for her.
There's no doubt in my mind. All right, let's talk about the Innovation Lab. We talked about operational excellence and IT services and some of that, and I'll be talking to you about that a little bit later. But the Innovation Lab, I looked this up. Cool deal, man. What you got going?
Yeah. So, the Innovation Lab idea is not new. So if you go Apple 30 years ago, when they invented Macintosh, they created this small unit on the side and say, we have this project, you guys go figure out the personal computer. And so we want to do something that's really similar, where we have this small unit on the side and we have problems that we're trying to address institutionally. And so we put that in an Innovation Lab, and they do in the process what we call plan, do, act, check. So you plan, you do it, you check to see if it worked, and then you do it again. And it's that cycle, plan, do, act, check. And it's all about innovating and trying to get the things done. I had a very good friend that was employee number 39 with Microsoft back in the 80s. And I used to ask her, why does Microsoft always come out with new versions? You remember the old days? Those of us who are old, the young people might not remember, but we do. When you get version of Microsoft Word 3.0 and you'd load it up, and then there'd always be something you were frustrated with. They did that on purpose. So what Microsoft was doing was they would develop software, 80% of it, and then they want their customers to tell them what else could they do better.
Ooh, interesting.
So they'd come back, because as developers and programmers, they weren't writing it for them. They were writing it for you.
That explains some of the technical problems I had when I worked at the university in my career in telecom, where I would have to get a hold of tech support. I got to know all my tech support engineering people really well, because half the time this stuff didn't work. Now you just explained why they did. I thought because they can't think of everything. That's what I always said. Well, they can't think of everything. But then if they leave a 20% gap, that's smart. I mean, because you just don't know what people want. Same thing with the university. We don't know. And that's why we're having all these diversified programs, right, V? Having all these diversified programs makes the institution a value add for people's life. Give me a 30-second takeaway on that, and then we'll go to break.
Yeah. So if you think about this, you may grow up and not know that you could be a salesperson or ag economist. You may not know that. So you come here and we're so diverse. You go, I didn't know I had this opportunity. And you start to learn. I didn't know I could be a nurse. I didn't know I could be a dietitian. I like food. I didn't know I could do different things. So the beauty of a Michigan State is that it's large enough where you can do a lot of different things, but it's small enough that it feels like home. And that's the beauty of a Michigan State.
That's why we're calling this one the Spartan Experience. Our guest today, I'm going to reset this and we're going to go to break here, everybody. Vennie Gore, great guy, wonderful, excellent administrator. We're very, very, very fortunate to have Vennie Gore in the role that he's at Michigan State, because he's not some carpetbagging guy who's just here for a buck. He's here. He's going to be here. He wants to take care of the institution just like I want to take care of the institution, just like so many of the loyal Spartans. And that's what the Spartan Experience is all about. You're listening to the Tom Matt Show.
For more information on the Tom Matt RFZ mentality, please visit our brand new website at www.tommattshow.com. Subscribe to our podcast via your favorite podcast platform. Visit our brand new YouTube channel for consistently motivating messaging. This is the Tom Matt Show.
Welcome to the Tom Matt Show.
Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back. Our guest today is my friend Vennie Gore, one of my best buds. And I'm very sincere when I say that. I mean, there's certain people in your life that impact you so much. You want to figure out who Vennie Gore is, just go to msu.edu. That's it. Simple. msu.edu. By the way, for you people out there that are going through the refirement zone maybe, or you're just graduating from college, make sure you go to msu.edu and you look at the postings. How many students, I have talked to so many students, I've actually helped some students get full-time gigs at the university. It's hard to get into the university, but you got to start somewhere. We got to encourage our students to really think about going to that website and seeing, because the last time I looked, there was like 700 positions, different jobs all over the place. And you never know if that little role may help you get into that next role, which helps you get into the next role. And life is crazy like that, everybody. So there you go. All right. So we've talked about operational excellence. The 3 questions: are you doing it right, the right way? Correct me if I'm wrong here, V. Do you have the capacity, and can you do it right? Is that about right? Okay, good.
No, are you doing the right things?
Are you doing the right? Are you doing the right things is one. Capacity is 2.
Can you do the right things? Do you have the capacity to do the right things? And can you do the right things right the first time?
Okay. And then capacity and do it right. I got it. It's just part of what we're doing here. And that's part of his operational excellence. I want to add some things to it when I send him a note here after the show. Let's talk about, because we've already talked about, and if you're just joining us, talked about the rec center a little bit, totally stoked about that. Talked about operational excellence, talked about the innovation lab, very super cool stuff. These are just, the university is constantly changing because our people change, people grow, people change. We need to offer different services to people. I mean, V, when you came into the university, we didn't have Brody Hall was all renovated the way you have it now. And now I have lunches there every week almost and entertain people. They're shocked. People who've never been there, they're shocked. Talk about that just for a second. Talk about the food services that we have within the institution that people may not even be aware of.
Sure. So about 18 years ago, we switched. So when Tom and I went to school in the old days, lunch was from 7 to 9. And breakfast was 7 to 9. Lunch was 11 to 1. Dinner was 5 to 7. If you missed it, you were out of luck. And remember mystery meat? Remember that time when they used to talk about mystery meat? Well, really what it was that you cook everything in the morning, you put it in a hot cart, and then you put it on the table and you serve it. Well, today, when you go to restaurants or you go to other places, what you see is cook to flow. So you order your food and it's cooked as you need it. And we have a greater emphasis on healthy food. And at Brody, you can actually have 27 different options if you really think about it, because there's 7 different stations, there's 3 options per station. So you can get a lot of different, and because we do know that a university runs on its stomach. And when you are full, you can study better, you can teach better, you can work better. So that is sort of what our idea of it. And we have neighborhood dining. So there's one on the west side, which would be Brody, the south side, which is over in Case. The east side is over in Acres. Then we have 2 that are sort of center of the campus, which is Shaw, then the Gallery, and then over at West Circle, there's Landon. And each one of them are different. So you could go to one of these different spaces and have different foods, because they feature different things. So
the themes are different. This is what he's describing, is their themes are different. The other thing that the university has done, V, you guys have done a great job with this, is you brought vendors in, very, very reputable vendors that set up little spots. I don't know what you'd call it, almost bigger than a kiosk. Yeah. Talk about that as well.
Yeah, so we have different venues. So Strange Matter Coffee is over at the Union. And if you like organic donuts, you go there. It's good for us old guys. We got to watch our sugar intake. Then there's Panera. It's over at the business school, Subway, Starbucks. So we have a bunch of different things. And if you get your off-campus meal plan, you can eat anywhere on campus, and it's at a very reasonable price. In fact, you probably know this too, Tom, that you come on a Friday, there are more families than there are students. You see a lot of families coming in, and they got their kids, and they're just enjoying the food that they have.
Because you can have such a variety, and the kids can go get ice cream. You can have cookies. You can do whatever. Had lunch there yesterday with a gentleman who hadn't been there before, along with Lindaway, and he was amazed. I mean, and the lunch went long, but it's just like, make sure you come hungry, because you're going to get fed really well, very good quality, excellent quality food. We're not trying to steal business from any of the other locations, but you just need to be aware of all of this. And these are part of the Spartan experience, everybody. So the message to the parents that are out there, rest assured, your children will be full if they want to eat, because they're going to have plenty of chances to eat. Okay. And there's going to be a variety all over the place.
So, Tom, you didn't know this, did you?
What's that?
But in 2021, we were named the best college food service in the country.
Really? Congratulations.
Yeah. Food service directors.
No doubt. Yeah. That is so incredible. I did not know that. Thank you for sharing that. That's very
Rebecca and her team does a great job.
Rebecca's been on the show before, and she's awesome. I mean, the whole staff, that's the whole thing about what we try to do here with the show, everybody. We try to promote what's good at the university because we're so loyal. And I'm a Big Ten guy. I'm University of Michigan. All you guys out there, great. Vennie went to the University of Indiana. I mean, we're all tied together in some way, some capacity. Just get better. Let's talk about fall welcome. We got about 5 minutes to go before we're going to wrap the show. And this is a good segue into what students, what parents can anticipate. Why is fall welcome a big deal?
It is a way, especially for our first year students, to get adjusted to the university, to find friends, and to get connected into this bigger Spartan experience. So there's a day you'll sign up with your son or daughter, and you'll move your child into the residence halls if you're a first year student. I can guarantee you that Mom, no matter how clean the room is, it's not clean enough. The father or uncle who may be driving down has got a list, wants to get everything moved in and get it out. Be efficient about it. And your son or daughter will not want you to kiss or hug them in front of their new roommate. That's universal. It's always been that way. And that's just part of beginning. And then we have participation and a bunch of other things where you can go and find a club that you want to belong to. 1,400 student clubs go to participation.
Really?
So it's a good way to get connected to different activities across. There's the fall welcome that's at the Breslin Center, where all the freshmen come together, and then we have different groups because we do have some of our students are student parents, some are student vets. So we try to have smaller communities so people can feel at home.
So wonderful. Okay, so talk about the move-in process, because that's a kind of a big deal at the university in the fall.
Yep.
That whole it's almost a week, isn't it?
It's a week. It's a week that comes in, and you sign up for a time with your online, and you can move into the hall. There's someone that helps you park. That gives you a cart. You load your cart. You go up the elevator into your room, and it's all that whole process of getting people moved in.
It's a wonderful opportunity to really experience what's going on with your children's lives that's going to be happening. And believe me, everybody, we're going to take care of your kids. We are absolutely going to take care of your kids. Promise you. Mm-hmm. And that's our goal. It's never always 100% perfect. No places, but Michigan State University, the Spartan experience is so wonderful. It's incredible. I've had students on the show, V, one girl that I'm going to have on soon, she's from Texas. I asked, because I always ask them why Michigan State. And she said as soon as she came on campus, she was having some mental health issues. And she said this on the show. She was having some anxiety things. I mean, you're 17, 18 years old.
Yeah.
As soon as she came on campus, she knew.
Mm-hmm.
That's it, everybody. You got to experience it. I need a minute and a half takeaway from you to close this thing, my good friend, Vennie Gore. What would you like to close this show with?
Well, I think what I'd like to close it with is that, friendships are real important. We learn from each other. Tom and I have been learning partners for 18 years. And we have spent time sharing books, sharing stories, talking about things. And we just learn. And I just want to say, Tom, I appreciate you very much. You're the man. And thank you for having me on your show. And continue to change the course of human history, one person at a time.
I told you I was going to have a little emotional moment with this man. I almost made it to the end, but it's all true. And those of you watching this video, you can see that I'm kind of an emotional basket case sometimes. But you know what? Because we believe in what you can do. And if the university changed my life through my undergraduate, my graduate work, and working at the university and helping the students and doing all that we can, and still continuing to help people and sharing with Vennie what's going on well in the world of Michigan State University. And I want to thank my friend so much for everything he's done for me. We didn't even get the chance to talk about books. We'll do that next time.
We'll do that next.
We'll do that next time. If our show fits your business or group's mission, we want to be of service to you. I can't even hardly read my card here. Got so many tears in my eyes. Always remember, before you can share love with others, you must love yourself first. Thank you to Vennie Gore, Sandy Mack, Craig Stiles, Brock Fletcher, everybody who's helped support this show. Appreciate you all very much. Have a great week, everybody. Go out and ignite your life. Remember, the Tom Matt Show is a production of Boomers Rock Media. We want to bring your story to life. Thank you, Mitch Anderson and Vanessa. And, of course, thank you to Vennie Gore. We are out.
The Tom Matt Show is produced by Mitch Anderson of Black Circle Studios. Original music from the Source of Light and Power by the Arc of All.